What is going on, Future Focus team? Today, I'm going to be walking you guys through my M1 Finance portfolio and the progress that I've made with a little over 1 month. Um, I want to show you guys kind of what you can expect and kind of go into a little bit about how my process started and how much it shifted just throughout my first month. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So what I'm going to be going through today is the computer website version of M1 Finance. If you all want a visual of the actual app on the cell phone, I'll be able to show you guys that as well. Just hit me up in the comments and let me know. Um, I'll shoot you guys a video, post it on here, and let you see what it kind of looks like on the app. I like using the computer personally when I'm at home because I can actually see everything in a bigger screen, and I feel like I don't miss as much. Um, so before I even get started showing you everything, when I first started, even going through the process of thinking about all this stuff, I downloaded Robinhood, I downloaded Acorns, I downloaded Fidelity, and I downloaded M1 Finance. And I went through all of them. I had accounts made with every single one of them. And really, what sold me to M1 Finance was the fact that they had fractional shares. And so, not just that, but I felt that Robinhood's application was too basic. It didn't have as much as I needed. I felt that Acorns uh, didn't give me a lot of freedom of movement whenever I didn't have a lot of liberty there. I could donate money and I couldn't really pick what I wanted. Um, with this app, even though a share of Apple is 300 something dollars, I didn't need to invest $300 at one time in order to get one share of Apple. As I'll go through the application, you'll see that I have a little bit in a lot of places, and the reason I do that is just my own version of diversification. Not only that, but when I do invest, I don't want to just invest in something because I'm already have a position in it. I want to invest in something because it's at a good uh, price, relative to the fair market value, in my opinion, because fair market value is something that's relative. It's not something that's a fact. It's based on the price that everybody puts on it, and your price may be different than my price. So as we walk through here, this is the way the main screen looks when you look at your portfolio. This right here is your pie. All right. So inside your pie, you can have little mini pies, which I do. But this is makes up the entirety when you focus on this page. When you click on one of these down here, um, you'll be able to go and see actual stocks inside of those pies. And I like that. When I first started, I didn't organize it that way. So little by little, I've been reorganizing it, just in order to make it, benefit me and make it easier for me to navigate. So as I go through here, you can click up here and you can see your activity. So as I said, I've had the app for a little over a month. Right now it's like a month and a day. And what I like about the app, I haven't had it a year yet, so it won't show you a year's worth of activity, but I've had it a little bit more than a month. So if I click on 1 quarter, you'll see that I made a gain of $101.69, and that equals a return of 9.51%, which I like because normally in a bank, if I would have had this in a money market account or a CD, I'd probably make like a 3.5% at most. I think some places I've seen like 3.8, but that's very, very rare. And here, my goal is to at least make 5% return on my investment. That's what I assumed I was going to get from the very beginning. And so far, I've made 9.51. However, with the stock market, you never know. So next month, I may make a 2%, and then I'll have to reinvestigate and go through and see where exactly my deficits are so I can correct my deficiencies if I have any. As of right now, I have made some losses in some places, but I guess with the way I've been doing it and the gains that I've made have definitely, covered me and more. So even though I lost on one stock, for example, $17, I believe, we could go and take a look at it. Um, Even though I've lost that much, I've made $101.69 in my overall portfolio. All right, so covering 1 month, exactly 1 month worth of activity, I have made $101.37, and my return has been 8.74. And again, that is still higher than that 5% return that I'm looking for. You can see how much I made this week. Out of that $101, this week alone, I've made $75. So just think about that. The reason I like in the first 3 weeks, my return wasn't as much is because I didn't have all of this in here at one time. All right. When the very first week I started, I literally just put in $100 and I just wanted to see how it went. And then day one, I made like 20 cents. Day two, I made like 75 cents. Day three, I made like $1.50. And then day four, I lost like 85 cents. So little by little, the fluctuations up and down weren't really benefiting me. So my strategy is dollar cost financing, dollar cost averaging it. I mean, so what that is instead of if I've decided to put 15% of my paycheck every paycheck. So, for example, let's say that's $500 just to break it down. Let's say $500 is 15% of every paycheck. When I get paid that very next day, I don't invest $500 on that very first day. What I do is I give myself a budget out of those 500 and I put some of that in here. And what I do is little by little, every day I investigate, I do my research, and if it's worth it to invest any money that day, I will. If not, whatever my budget is for that day, I'll just roll that over into the next day, and then the next day I'll come back in and I'll do my research, and if there's something worth buying, I'll buy it. I'm not gonna buy something just because I have the money to do it. I'm just gonna buy stocks and invest whenever the price meets whatever my bottom line is, whatever I think is a fair value for that plus more. I'll go in a little deeper than that. So let's say I do find a stock that is at fair market value, right? And even then, I don't put everything into it. So the minimum you could, make a purchase with is $10. So if it's only a little bit under fair market value, then I'll just throw $10 at it. If it's something that's like a big increase and it's like, oh my God, this is a great deal, then, I'll start investing a little bit more. Maybe I'll put $50. Maybe I'll put $80. It all depends. If it's a really, really great deal, and I may put my whole budget into that one stock just for that one day, not my whole $500 that we talked about, just that one day worth of stock. I may just throw it in there into one stock just to buy a complete share of it. Because if it's that much of a benefit to me, then I'm going to buy a complete share. So the way I've devised my portfolio, I have some stocks that are dividend stocks and I have some stocks that are growth stocks. I have a little bit of both. I haven't really received many dividends yet because, as again, it's only been 1 month, but I did receive my first dividend recently, and I'll walk you through that right now. The first dividend I received was right here, is from Apple, and that was 18 cents. So I mean, it's not much, but what we're looking for here throughout this is a long-term goal. So when we're going through this, those 18 cents, it may not seem like a lot, but I'm getting paid from Apple, because I have a piece of that company. They're giving me a paycheck, and even though my paycheck is only 18 cents, it's because I haven't really put that much into Apple yet. But with compounding interest, the goal is for those 18 cents to little by little create a snowball effect. Next time it may be 20 cents, and after that it may be 28 cents, and after that it may be 58 cents. And throughout time, the more I invest in these companies, the higher my dividend that I return back is going to be beneficial. So far, as you can see, going back into the portfolio, um, I've gained, and I'm not the greatest mind in the world. I'm not Warren Buffett Jr. A few of my friends have started calling me the Wolf of Wall Street as a joke, but I don't take it to my head. I know that all of this can get, wiped away if the market crashes, and I'm good with that because I'm not throwing everything I have into this. I have my own savings account set aside, and I know that I'm in it for the long run. So even if a stock market crashed today, and this portfolio went from 3,359 and 4 cents to $1,100 or $800 or $200, I know that I wouldn't panic. I would still leave it alone, and I would still continue to do my dollar cost averaging into my portfolio. Uh, so that's what you want to do. Whenever the stock market does crash, you want to have a pile of money set aside, something that makes sense to you. But that's when basically all of these stocks are on sale. So you find the ones that you like, you have a list of how much you're willing to pay for them, and as soon as the stock market crashes, you pull a Warren Buffett and you just go bananas and start purchasing the stocks that you want. All right. Stocks that you've researched and companies that you believe in and companies that you think are going to make a comeback, are going to, recover from a stock market crash. Um, so as we go through this, I'll show you. We could go in here. This is called the melting pot, and it shows you individually what each little pie has made itself. So the melting pot was my first pie that I created, and it had all of my stocks in that one pie. As I said, little by little, I've been recovering and creating a more organized portfolio. So next, the mini pie. This one contains all of my ETFs inside of it. Okay. The next one is the medical sector, and as of right now, this is the one that's hurt me the most. Not really hurt because I haven't lost anything uh, in the overall grand scheme. I've made over $100, but we'll click on the medical sector to give it a closer look to see why I've been down so much. Um, so we'll take a look right here. So what I did was, I did my research on this company called Aurora Cannabis, and little by little, I've been investing more and more and more into it. And, the stock has dropped a lot. We could click on it and go investigate this stock a little bit further. All right. So as you go through and you look, you can see what my position looks in it currently. All right. In all time, my gain has been negative 13.47. That's how much I've lost. The current value of this stock is $70.14, and I've paid $97. So, in the big scheme of things, if you look at it, 97.27 was what I've put into the stock, and 70.14 is what the current value of the stock is. So, in this one stock, I've lost $27 and some change. So I'm not worried about it. I invested in this stock. Again, it was a company that I believe can turn something around, and I didn't really put as much as I did. The reason I kept putting money into it is because it was already under my minimum threshold for me to put money into it. And as it kept dropping more and more, what I looked for is the current price, which is right here. This is the current price as when the stock market closed, and this is the average share price that I've paid. So I've paid an average of 179. When I first purchased some, I purchased like $10 or $20 worth at it was $2.06 when I did. So little by little, this is something I look at before I make a purchase. I look at the average share price of what I've paid in average, and then I'll look at what the current market value is, and then I'll compare that to my fair market value for this position. So as you look down, this is something else I love about this app. It has the latest news for each individual stock, which when you're about to purchase something is very beneficial because things change. Things change, from minute to minute, not even day to day, from minute to minute. Things can change in the stock market, and if there's some breaking news, it'll be on here and it'll show you, the latest news or gossip. And again, the stock market, if you are brand new to this, or if you're old, you already know this. Um, Not old in, years. I mean old in the stock market. You already know this, that the stock market is driven by emotion. And so fear and greed drive the stock market. Whenever there's fear, that's when people start selling a lot. Whenever there's greed, is like what the Tesla stock did. We could go back. I have a position in Tesla. We'll go back and I'll show you guys. We'll go inside the melting pot. You guys can take a look at what I have in here. Um, Everything is full disclosure. I got nothing to hide. Um, So as you scroll down, you can see how much I've made in every single stock that I've invested in. Alibaba, I made $7. Facebook, I've made 380. Disney, I've only made $1.40. Apple, I've made $3.67. Microsoft, $3.67. I want to insult your intelligence, but we'll go over here and I'll click on Tesla, and we'll look at what's happened just in this past. We'll look at 1 month worth of activity. Um, so a month ago, let me see. So right now, the average share price is 731. Okay, which is pretty crazy, because we'll go over here and we'll look at the performance of Tesla stock individually. This is not what happened in my portfolio. This is exactly what Tesla's done. All right, so let's look at 3 months worth of activity. All right. So this takes you back and it shows you the date right here, all the way till December 2nd. Look at that. December 2nd, December 10th, it was in 300s. All right. Um, Look at that. January 9th, it was at 481. January 15th, when I first took a position in it, it was 518. However, my position was very, very small. I put in like $11 at that time, because, again, my first uh, deposit into this account was only $100, and I was going to keep that for the entire month. But my gains I was getting back wasn't as much as I felt it should be. So I didn't want my money just sitting in my savings account, not collecting as much as it would be if I had it in here. So this is a lot of greed. As you can see, the 30th, 640. On February 7th, it hit 748. And then look, the 10th, 771. The 12th, 767. 804. At one point, it was 887 on the 4th. It won't show it on here because it didn't stay there long, but this stock hit 916 at one point. And, that's greed. When you see a big increase right here like this in 1 day or 2 days worth, that's greed. And then, the market always corrects itself. So it dropped right back down and it's been going up little by little. But that's just an example of what greed can do to it. All right. So some other things you could look at on here is you could look at a watch list. You could create a watch list and go through and look at things that I may be interested in. Some of these I already have, but like Carnival, I've been looking at that one as a potential, but it's kind of iffy. And again, if I'm not fully uh, enveloped by this, and I'm not fully like encouraged by this, the performance or the future performance potential of the stock, then I'm not even going to put any money into it. But we'll go back to invest. And so I'm going to leave it with that for now. This is my pie. If you want to look at something specific or you want me to show you something specific, please write it down in the comments below. And I'll give me some feedback. If there's something that you saw on here that maybe you're doing better, then let me know. I'm open-minded. I don't think I'm the greatest thing in the world. I didn't give you exact advice on what stocks to buy, and I'll never do that because I'm not a financial advisor. And if you lose out, I don't want you to put the blame on me. Just like if my stock were to next month, if I had a loss of $500, I wouldn't put that blame on anyone else. I would just, again, maybe the stock market dropped, and that's what I would invest a little bit more than my 15% that I've decided on. Um, but if you need any advice, I'm willing to give you some, as a person with a little bit more experience than you may have. And again, I'm humble enough to take uh, any advice that you may have, because the ultimate goal is for us to get to the point where we reach that financial freedom, and all of this that we're putting into it is finally paying us back. Maybe we could leave these stocks to our kids, and that'd be a great future for us. All of these stocks that I have on here are long term. I don't plan on selling anything anytime soon. If I do, I'll make sure to let you guys know. But other than that, please, subscribe if you like the video. Please give me a thumbs up. Share with your friends if maybe you're, thinking about starting a little team. That's what I've done. I've started a actual future focused team, and together we discuss and we have conversations about what's good out there, what looks bad out there. I give them advice, they give me advice, and I think overall over the first month we've all done pretty great. So you're part of the team as well. Just click on that subscribe button, and until next time.